And we touched on it earlier with the topic of mental health, very much in the spotlight today. And even so, because there are some recent statistics saying that kids are struggling with mental health issues. And joining us to talk about that this morning is Barbara McCallum, who is the CEO of the Canadian Counselling and Psychotherapy Association. Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning. How are you?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Barbara, the recent stats, as I mentioned, saying that 1 in 5 children are struggling with mental health issues. Is this a surprise to people or should be a surprise to people?
Well, I think what is a surprise when the statistics came out is that 1 in 5 Canadians also. So the fact that there are 1 in 5 children, that's not a surprise. I found that number when it was originally published was quite staggering myself because I don't think people realize, how prevalent mental health issues can be.
Yeah, and as we talk about it, the stigma, trying to reduce the stigma of mental health issues and trying to, be able to get people to open up about mental health. It's coming, and I think there are some initiatives. We talk about Bell Let's Talk Day. Mm-hmm. We talk about a few of the initiatives that are happening, but we're still a long ways away from it being in the forefront and being able to talk about this and this being one of the center stage issues, right?
Yes, that's correct. I actually belong to an organization called the Ontario Alliance of Mental Health Practitioners, and one of the things we're doing is trying to let people know that there shouldn't be any stigma attached to seeking help and that there are a lot of different ways or different types of therapy that one can seek. So it's not just kind of that traditional talk therapy that I think people know the most about. Yeah,
there's just some different things. I'm just talking about the kids as well. With the, I know they mentioned with the labor situation when it comes to teachers in Ontario, I know that your group is concerned that the children who need the help or need to be monitored might fall through the cracks, or talk about your concerns when it comes to that situation.
Well, I think especially in the schools, it's rather frightening. There was a recent poll done by the Canadian Teachers Federation, and they indicated that the number one issue that teachers are facing in schools is mental health. And we all know that just as with most illnesses, that early detection leads to better results. And so the fact that there aren't as many resources in the school to watch out for mental health issues is quite concerning. Yeah, and it should be concerning. But if parents at home, too, that are wondering or might have concerns about their kids having mental health problems, what should parents be looking for in their kids? Well, I think change in behavior is probably one of the biggest things. Now, I'm not a practitioner myself, but I think that if children suddenly have a different kind of behavior than you're used to, like somebody who's quite outgoing suddenly becomes quite silent, then that's one signal for a parent to at least have a discussion to see if there is a problem. Yeah, and then that's kind of, you start the discussion. Obviously, the Kids Help Phone is available for kids that might need it and offering those services. But what else can a parent do as well, Barbara, if they believe that their child is suffering mental health problems? Well, one of the options is to go to their doctor and have a discussion about that. But there are a lot of practitioners in Ontario that deal with different kinds of therapy, like art therapy, music therapy, drama therapy. So if a parent is concerned that perhaps their child isn't at an age where they can talk about issues, there are other ways for those children to get help. And that's what I would suggest for parents, is to seek those kind of practitioners out. And that's the biggest thing, is to, if you believe that there are issues, to first of all have that discussion, but then to find out something like you talk about, whether it be music therapy or art therapy, something that your kid enjoys doing or something that they're interested in that will also help them hopefully deal with those mental health issues. So not an easy topic, and again, the more we talk about it, the better, just to keep moving things along and keep moving forward. So Barbara McCallum, thanks for joining us this morning. Really appreciate you taking the time. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. Again, it's not an easy thing to talk about, especially when it comes to kids. And, 1 in 5 kids, 1 in 5 people in Canada will be affected by mental health issues. And it's not the easiest thing to talk about. And be it depression or mood swings or whatever the case may be, we're slowly but surely starting to get there. And it is a disease.
that's the biggest thing to remember. It's people are sick, and it's not easy to deal with. So the stigma slowly, as we start with these initiatives, slowly getting there. And it is great to see groups that Barbara is a part of, and everybody doing their best to slowly to move this conversation forward as we hopefully and continue to reduce that.